Cana and Nazareth. They're two small towns in Galilee, about a mile or so apart. They play an important role in Jesus' early life and as he begins his mission. The two towns weren't thought much of in Jesus' day. How can anything good come from Nazareth? And that was also said about Cana too. Nazareth is located on top of a mountain in Upper Galilee, and Cana is just down from it on the plains of Esdraelon. The couple whose wedding Jesus, his mother, and disciples attended were probably a small farm family, relatives maybe, friends of Jesus and his mother. It was a wedding in a small town. But John's Gospel sees the miracle that Jesus performed there, turning water into wine, as the first sign of the promised kingdom that's going to come. Now, signs are usually big miracles in John's Gospel, like the raising of Lazarus from the dead or the cure of the man born blind. The miracle of water turned into wine doesn't seem to be a big sign like those others. What would have happened if there were no miracle in Cana that day? Well, the family would be embarrassed, but that would be soon forgotten. But John's Gospel says that this is the first sign of God's kingdom coming, and it happens in a small town for a couple whose names we don't know. Now, could the miracle be a sign of God's great love for nameless places like Cana and ordinary people like those who lived everywhere? God loves every place, everything, everybody, small as they are. God delights in the Canas of this world and the people living in them. Jesus not only brought good wine to that wedding, but he stayed there for the feast. Our reading from Isaiah today describes God as a bridegroom taking Israel, small as she is, as his bride. No more shall men call you forsaken, or your land desolate, but you shall be called my delight, your land espoused, for the Lord delights in you, and makes your land his spouse. As a young man marries a virgin, your builder shall marry you, and as a bridegroom rejoices in his bride, so shall your God rejoice in you. Those words were fulfilled when Jesus came to the wedding feast at Cana in Galilee. He was God rejoicing, delighting in his people. We are God's people, and he takes us too as his own.